Talking with Doug Upstone from ImpactWageringSolutions.com and Steve from CollegeFootballWinning.com on the SBRtv College Football Experts Roundtable for Week 4. Let's get into some of the controversial lines and the marquee games coming up. I want to see what you guys have to say about it. If you don't have anything to say, that's perfectly fine, because some of these lines are pretty tricky. The first one, maybe the trickiest of all, is Notre Dame as a close to touchdown favorite on the road at Pitt. Now, I saw this line and I threw a little bit on Pitt +7. I bought up to 7. I never feel bad about an impulse fade of Notre Dame. Why are they such a big favorite here? And do you think it's justified? Steve from CollegeFootballWinning.com. What do you think?
Boy, Notre Dame, another. I want to call them a schizophrenic team, except they're not schizophrenic, because there's one thing we can count on, and those are the turnovers. Mm-hmm. And those turnovers are absolute killers, and they are wager killers too. I see that a lot of money is flowing on Notre Dame. Not really a big surprise there. Notre Dame finally, I guess last week against Michigan State, lived up to all the preseason hype, and we saw it's still with 3 turnovers, I believe, still with a turnover problem against Michigan State, and this time they're going on the road. Those turnovers can be absolute killers for this Notre Dame team and for a wager on Notre Dame. So that Pittsburgh bet that you placed, Peter, did you say that you took
yes,
Pittsburgh?
Yes, I sure did.
Or +7?
+7. I like it.
I can understand a home dog like that against a team that does cough up the football. Sure. And Pittsburgh is definitely unpopular right now.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, always popular. From a betting standpoint, from a wagering standpoint, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I like it. I know Notre Dame has a lot of talent, but I like my bet. If Notre Dame comes out, plays a great game, doesn't S the bed, and gets an easy cover, I'll rip up my ticket happily. Doug Upstone, what do you think about this line?
I think the line it might be a little high. It probably should be 5, at least in my opinion. But I think it's somewhat justified. And the reason I say that, first of all, is just the talent level. I mean, Notre Dame's ability on offense is very clear.
Sure.
I mean, in terms of what they're doing. If they don't have the turnovers, and granted they did, so that does matter. Mm-hmm. But if you eliminate the turnovers and put them in a more normal perspective, I mean, they'd be 3-0 right now. So I mean, and they would have won any of those other games by at least 10 or more points. Nevertheless, as I said, they did commit the turnovers, and they do have to clean that up. I think they will continue to do that. The other thing with Pittsburgh is that Pittsburgh was really they blew the game last week. I mean, they had a 17-point lead in the second half against Iowa, and their pass defense just fell apart. Once they no longer had a rush, and Vandergaard was able to start cleaning find his receivers and be on target, they really did a good job and came all the way back against them. Notre Dame is built to pass the ball, which is Pittsburgh's weakness. The other thing that comes into play here is also Notre Dame has a good track record. I believe it's 12-4-1 against Pittsburgh in all games played in the last 17.